Howdy folks, this is ESC 409 from Chasing a Dream Farms. This is my first video for my new channel for Chasing a Dream Farms, which will host a variety of videos about my journey, the blood, sweat, and tears of building me a small family farm from a raw piece of land. We've had this property now about 3 years, and when we got it, it was a very raw piece of land. The barn doe's not ours. That's my closest neighbor. But when we got it, no fence, no gates, nothing. And over the last 3 years, we've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, mostly sweat, into developing this place with the vision of eventually us building our final or forever home and our retirement home out here. And as you can see by the fence, you know, we do want some animals. Not quite sure what that looks like or is yet, but so this is where we're at today. This is the entry that I built. Built it mostly by myself with the assistance of a tractor, a little help from the wife, a little help from the sons, pardon the cattle trailer passing, and a little help from some hired help, but about 90% of it was myself. All right, so I'm back. Sorry I had to stop the video. I had a visitor show up, and it was actually, believe it or not, it was the U.S. Census Bureau. I guess building permits become public record at some point, and according to this gentleman, they're hired by FEMA to understand the local area, and so he wanted to ask me a lot of questions, and I was very upfront with him from the beginning that I was going to give him very limited information. I just didn't feel like I was required to give him a lot of the information that he was asking. And so anyway, so back to this. This is my entry. Built all of this. Got the fence down the front of the property put up. So the property is this front pasture that you see here with the driveway, and it goes back way to the back there, and I'll show y'all another video as I'm driving in. So I kind of split this place up into 3 features when I talk about it. The front pasture, which is this part, it's 5 acres, maybe a little over 5 acres, and it's predominantly a hay field that gets cut a couple of times a year by my neighbor. He generally gets about 30 round bales of hay out of this, and then the middle pasture where I'm building the house, where the house is going to be built, my fishing pond that I built and constructed and developed the management plan for, and then the woods that you can see all the way in the back there. So the woods is about 12 acres, and the middle pasture, or the house pasture, is about 7 acres. So we have just a little under 24 acres. And I know it's not huge compared to a lot of big places that people with a lot of money have, but and I always thought that I wanted hundreds of acres And after having this place for about 3 years now, 24 acres is enough. So anyway, I'm excited. It gets a little frustrating at times because things go a bit slower than I would like, except the money outflow. That seems to go very fast, but action items such as getting a water well drilled, getting electricity brought in to the build site, getting construction started on the house. You know, it's just kind of a slow, tedious process, and I'm sure with some bureaucracy in play, especially with the local energy or electrical provider. And but I feel like things are in a good place and things are moving along. And I watch all of these other channels on YouTube, Stony Ridge Farms. I watch a lot of his videos and I really like what he does. And so I thought, hey, you know, why can't I do something similar? Why can't I make a channel and post different videos chronicling my process of developing this into something where eventually one day I'll be able to sit on the fishing dock with my grandkids and fish, or go hunt rabbits or squirrels or dove, or eventually maybe even having some wildlife in here. And there's some natural wildlife in the woods, but I spend so much time out here and create so much noise that nothing really stays there for a long time. They don't like a big orange tractor driving around wild pigs and deer. Snakes don't mind it, which I wish they did, but they don't mind it. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited about this place. I'm excited about creating my first YouTube channel. I'm not a social media person, but I see all of the social media out there, and you just get to thinking sometimes, well, if that person can do it, I surely can do it. And so anyway, welcome to my my farm or homestead, or I don't really have a name for it yet. I know that might be bad luck, but you know, maybe that's something that the viewers can help me pick out. So matter of fact, that'll be my first request from the audience, from the viewers, if I get any. Hopefully I get a few, is to help me pick out a name for this place that matches the property, or matches, you know, the features of the property. Not a whole lot of features. It's flat. I mean, we're in Southeast Texas, so it's flat, and a lot of junk trees. And but you know, my vision for it is family, friends, retirement, those kind of things. So maybe the viewers can help me help me name this place. Yep, that's the first order of business for my hopeful viewership, is help me name this place. Let's come up with something just really unique and really fitting for this place. I do have to tell you, I want to be very careful about this place turning into a junkyard. I always told myself, I don't know how all these farmers and stuff, they have so much junk laying around their place. Well, I understand. It happens very quickly, and as you can see, I'm storing a travel trailer for someone. Nobody lives in it, but I'm storing it. And then behind it over there, you can barely see some stuff through the trees. I have a 21-foot trailer that I haul my tractor on that's collecting scrap metal from doing fencing work and pulling up old T-posts and throwing away bent T-posts and stuff like that. So I see how it happens now, how a farm or a ranch, or anybody that has, you know, some size out of the neighborhoods or the suburbs can start collecting a bunch of stuff. And so anyway, let's get this gate open and let's drive you in. This road wasn't here. This was all completely undeveloped land, and so this road was built when we dug our pond. We used the dirt for the base of the road. We elevated it because in periods of severe rain events like Hurricane Harvey, Tropical Storm Imelda, you know, there was on this front pasture, there was a foot or two of water, as was the case with most everyone around us. You know, they had a lot of water and stuff. So we built this road, was the priority when we dug the pond, and then we built the house pad, and we built it at an elevation where a lot of thought was put into it. A lot of research was done on the elevation of that pad. You only get one time to build a pad, so we built it where I thought we would be safe, and we wouldn't flood in the event of another event like Hurricane Harvey or Tropical Storm Imelda. And then of course all of this rock, this is crushed concrete. Learned some valuable lessons with this. I would probably do things a little different, you know, the next time. You know, maybe start with much larger rock first and then put this smaller crushed concrete down and let it kind of interlock into the bigger rock. But I forget how many tons of crushed concrete this was. It was thousands and thousands and thousands, and maybe even some more thousands of dollars to bring this rock in. But I want to say it was maybe like maybe about 2,000, 2,500 tons of crushed concrete that we put down. And of course it looks pretty narrow now, but you know, the mow line there on each side, the rock actually extend, you know, I made the road 16 feet wide. The grass has just grown up in all of the areas that we don't drive on a regular basis. And then the road kind of extends back around to the house pad that's back there. You can kind of see the road, and it goes up to the house pad. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'm nervous about starting a YouTube channel. I'm not a very public kind of person, and I'm not sure how many videos you're gonna see of me, myself, but maybe I'll get comfortable and do that. And so let's get this gate open. Let's go in, and I'll show you where we're at with everything, and then at some point later on I will go back and maybe try to put a video compilation together of all of the work up to this point. I am very good about taking pictures and videos of things as I do them, because I'm proud of them. I'm not the best at all of this stuff, but I feel like I'm resourceful, and YouTube offers a wealth of knowledge. So I've never built an 8 foot game fence. I've never built a ranch entry. Never built a archway or whatever they call this thing. But I've built all of this through research, reading, watching videos, and just common sense and logic. So, you know, if you see something that looks kind of off or maybe not done just quite right, go easy on me. I'm doing the best I can, and when you do things largely by yourself, you can only get things so right or so good or so perfect, even though I do like to have everything done perfectly. Sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way. So anyway, without further ado, let's get this gate open. Well, like I said, you know, we built this road, and we built it about 20 inches above the baseline of the property. And then we came back and added, I don't know, about 8 inches of this crushed concrete that I had to come back and kind of keep adding some more, because it would kind of, as this clay got wet from rain and stuff and you drove on it, it would push the rocks down into the clay, and you'd end up with some thin spots and exposed clay. This is a little drainage swell that me and a good friend did together, just to kind of help direct some drainage from rainfall and such. So that's my travel trailer tenant. It's actually storage for one of my sons. Hopefully I don't show up out here one day and there's someone living in it. But anyway, so as you can see, you know, this coming into my middle pasture, which is where I'm building. There's the house pad over there. No, that little building's not my house. That's the water well that we had drilled. But you know, this is about, I don't know, 550 feet from the gate, my entrance gate, and that's back that way. That's the front pasture that I was talking about originally. And then this is the middle pasture. So again, this is like 7 acres, and you can kind of see, you know, that's the middle pasture, and then those woods are my wooded area that I plan to leave like that. It's real thick. You can't hardly walk through it without getting torn up with briars and all kinds of stuff in there. So anyway, let's this is my pond that I dug. This was all, again, pasture when we first started. So we dug this pond probably the first year that we bought the property. And this pond is about 3/4 of an acre in surface area, and at the deepest spot is about 14 feet deep or so. And we got some really cool videos of when they were digging this pond. They didn't do it the conventional way, like they dig ponds around here with a track hoe and a dump truck and bulldozers. This guy that I hired, he came in with like this 600 horsepower tractor and pulled this big, I think it's called like a box scraper behind it, and he just started whittling away on it, and it looked like it was just going to be extremely slow, a slow process. But in fact, he dug all of this, and I've got it calculated. I think we pulled out about maybe a little shy of 10,000 cubic yards of dirt. He had 42 tractor hours on doing this. He did a really, really good job. First time I'd ever seen it done like that. Again, I'm not the most experienced guy at this kind of stuff. And so that's my pond, and that's what we took the dirt from to build the road. And then you can see the road goes up to the house pad. Now, eventually I'll dress that up after all the construction is done. But let's go on to the pond. We left this natural peninsula here in the pond. We kind of made it kind of like a comma or a teardrop, but we left this natural pond so that eventually I could build a gazebo or, you know, some type of gathering pavilion, you know, for, you know, birthday parties, just hanging out. And that's another project that I did, was installed that 8-inch overflow pipe I still need to come back and put a screen on it so that I don't lose any fish, because I've got lots of money tied up in the stocking of this pond, and it's stocked with two types of largemouth bass. I believe the first one's called maybe a northern Atlantic largemouth bass. Apparently they don't get super big. They get maybe 8, 9, 10 pounds, but they're super aggressive and fun to catch. And then I also came back and put some pure Florida largemouth bass in there so that eventually they will breed and create a hybrid. I think they may call those F1 tiger bass or something. And then I put about 750 bluegills in here, and then I also put about 500 red ear sun perch, trying to create kind of an ecosystem in here. Pond's done very, very well over 2.5 years. I catch bass out of here very regular. My biggest so far that I've caught out of here, and I've got pictures and some videos, but the biggest one that I've caught out of here was just shy of 4 pounds. I'm pretty impressed with the way that this is working out as far as ecosystem and food chain and stuff like that. Even the bluegills are getting big. You know, biggest bluegill that was caught, my wife caught it, and she caught it on a piece of hot dog weenie, and it was probably 9 or 10 inches long. And if I had to guess, I didn't weigh it, but if I had to guess, it was probably a pound maybe. So this is my pond. Let's kind of take you around and show you. I'd planned on actually fishing today, but then I got the idea to start doing some introductory videos of my channel. So that is my house pad where I'm going to be building my house. Builder's been selected, building contract's been signed, and as you can see, there's already some flags and some corner stakes on it, and then this is my pond that'll be off of the front of the house. Of course, we designed a very, very large front porch since the pond will be the feature. Matter of fact, look, let me see if you can see this. So there's some of the fish. They love to see me because they eat. They eat and eat. I don't know if you can see it, but there's bass right there. They're pretty smart. They wait for me to feed the bluegills, and when the bluegills start eating, they ambush the bluegills. And sometimes the bass will actually eat the food that I throw out for them. But they will follow me around. I can walk around the entire perimeter of this pond, and they will follow me from one side to the next, just waiting to be fed. So speaking of feeding, let's throw a little food out for them and see what happens. All right, well, we're back. You can see them. They followed me from that dock. You can see them all coming. They're waiting on me. And these bluegills are unbelievable. They breed and breed and breed, and there's always bluegills, little bluegills swimming around. I mean, you can see some fresh little ones down in there. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see the little bitty suckers right there swimming around. I mean, they don't stop breeding. So you can see the bass kind of waiting on them. So I'm gonna throw a little scoop of food out, see what happens. Here in a minute, you may see the water explode like that right there. That's the bass ambushing the bluegill that's eating. Throw a little more out. This may affect my fishing later on when I finish with videos and fish. But really like it. I really enjoy this pond. I built this little floating dock here. I built it at home in my driveway. It's like 8 feet wide, 16 feet long. And I just put some plastic barrels up underneath it and hand drove some galvanized poles and got some brackets and fixed it to it so it wouldn't float out into the pond on windy days. And you know, eventually I'll talk to you all about this. This was probably one of the best things I ever put in. This is water. I ran it from all the way up there. Eventually I'll have maybe a little like a pool shower out here, or when I have the gazebo, a little hand washing station or a fish cleaning station. But this is pretty much my pond right here. So I'm proud of it. I like it. I enjoy it. They've already eaten every bit of that food already. If I threw out 5 pounds of food, they'd eat 5 pounds of food. They would eat me out of house and home, actually. And there's a bass, probably about a 2.5 pound bass swimming by. And I built a lot of artificial structure and put in here that I'll show you all at some point. But you know, back to my house pad. That's where my house pad's going. And those are all of our woods right there. That's 12 acres of woods. And then this pasture's 7, and then the front pasture is 5 and a quarter, something like that. So there's my junk trailer I was telling you about. You know, stuff just starts collecting, and I found myself trying to save a 2-foot long piece of fence and some all mangled up T-posts, and they were in a pile. Grass was growing up in it, and just made it real difficult to mow around. You didn't never know what you were going to suck up in the brush hog. That's my little carport that I put up. No, it's not for a car. It's actually for my tractor. My tractor's not here. My son has it at his house. It's our tractor together, and he's using it at his house. But he and I put that kit up, and it's like a 20 by 20 carport kit that I bought from one of the metal building places, and we put it up just to try to keep the tractor out of the sunlight and out of the rain. So and I got some like these little trees growing up and stuff. I'm not sure what they are. I'm sure they're junk. A lot of people would consider them junk trees. You know, it's not like they're an oak or a maple or something like that, or a big pine of some sort. But they started growing up, and I kind of felt like that would give some more structure for smaller fish. So anyway, that's kind of my introduction to the place. I did plant these 3 oak trees right here, and I'm hoping oak trees grow so slow. I hope I live long enough to where I can actually see them as a decent sized oak tree that actually provides a lot of shade to this area. And so I planted those. I've done lots of things out here, lots of little things. And like I said, it just takes time and money and sweat equity. A lot of sweat equity in this place so far. And a few times I've questioned myself of why I'm working this hard to build something. And but most of the time I can remember my vision. And my vision is sitting on this dock right here. Hopefully it's out there by that time, and it's bigger, out of the sun for sure, but with grandchildren fishing, catching bluegills and bass, and having some animals, you know, running around here. Not sure what those animals are yet. 99% sure it's not going to be cattle. Maybe a horse or 2, My wife wants goats, and I'm fighting her on goats. But you know, I'm thinking when I get my fence done, I can put some axis deer and maybe some fallow deer in here, and just to have some wildlife. And then maybe my very distant vision for this place is when I retire is to maybe build some breeding pens in the woods and breed axis or fallow, and maybe have, you know, a little bit of retirement income when that point comes. So it's a long ways away, I'm sure. I'm just going to keep chipping away at it, and as much as my pocketbook will allow. And what's nice is this place is 7 miles from our house. So I can come out here for 30 minutes. I can come out here for 15 minutes and turn around and go home. I can work out here all day, hot, sweaty, on the verge of a heat stroke, and go home and jump in the pool or get in the shower and cool off. And so that makes it kind of nice, makes it easier, convenient to spend a lot of time out here versus those bass are going nuts back here, ambushing all the little fish. So anyway, it's not extravagant, guys, but it's mine, and I'm gonna work my rear off on it. I'm trying to build what I have in mind, and I hope it works out. I hope I live long enough to see the vision through. I have no reason to think that I wouldn't, but you just never know in this world what life has for you tomorrow. The older I get, the more I think about things like that. So anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate you being patient with kind of my blabbering, maybe incoherent thoughts on this place. But as I learn social media, as I learn these videos, you know, I can hopefully become a bit more structured and a bit more entertaining, a bit more informative to the viewers. Again, hopefully I have viewers. So yeah, that's kind of it. So until next time, I will see y'all later.